Morning, friends. Hope you're all doing well today. Hoping that this finds you happy and healthy and excited. I think we're coming into a weekend. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, we're coming into a weekend. I think it's Friday, right? Friday! In my case, it's been a busy week. You know, we got the van in to finally get it checked over after Sarah's little accident there, the hit and run in the parking lot at McDonald's. So that was good. Been in touch with the lawyer and the family doctor. I think she's got a follow-up appointment with the family doctor on Monday. She's definitely got a headache that just won't seem to let go. A little bit of, just not feeling herself, not 100% quite right or being there. So that's been a bit of a challenge. But, on the upside, we're definitely on the road to recovery. So that's a good thing. Her feeling better and her doing the things that she needs to do is a plus. Yesterday was a tough one. I'm sure we've all seen the news. We all know what's happening out there. I really had to step away from the internet and just kind of give myself some space and some time to just unplug and disconnect. And that was definitely helpful. Getting into the family, went out for dinner last night, so that was good. And Jack had a really, really good class at wrestling, so that was positive to kind of share with him. Just the day-to-day life of being sober and having a family. I was doing some reading, as I talked about earlier on. I've been kind of checking in on some sober podcasts and some other guys or people, ladies as well, who are online and kind of sharing their story and trying to do this thing that I'm doing, and I don't know what I'm doing. I mean, it was just quite honestly me making a video to say thank you for 25 years of being sober. And here we are. I think I'm a few days away from 50 videos. Like, I can't even believe that. So, wow. Like, I'm just knocked out by that. Anyways, so I'm just trying to grind away and I'm trying to figure it out and connecting with other persons online who are doing the same thing that I'm doing right here. And I'm finding a lot of stuff I agree with, a lot of stuff that I don't necessarily... I don't want to say disagree with, maybe I just don't understand, and I think that's what happens to us as we become sober and we find our way through recovery is we start to peel back the onion, right, and start to really get to know who we are and what we are, and what our place is in our little community or in our family and in our world, and the greater structures around us, how we exist. And it's a wonderful place to be, and it's a very powerful journey to take once you start down this path. And to that end, I find myself digressing. I don't want to be judgmental and say I disagree, because there's more to it. I can't necessarily disagree with something that I don't understand. And to that end, I'm compelled to do the work necessary to understand, right? If somebody's sharing their idea or their experience, I don't even want to say opinion, because that's just not even valid in this context. Their experience in recovery is far more accurate, and they're sharing that experience, and that strikes me as odd. It compels me, it behooves me to do the work required to understand what that person is trying to communicate. Read between the lines, if you will. And so I find myself, guess where? Third edition of the big book. It's the one that works for me. Page 17, There is a Solution, third edition of the big book, Alcoholics Anonymous. Oh, halfway down the page, it reads, "We are like the passengers of a great liner. At the moment after rescue from shipwreck, when camaraderie, joyousness, and democracy pervade the vessel from steerage to the captain's table. Unlike the feeling of the ship's passengers, however, our joy in escape from disaster does not subside as we go our individual ways." Further on into the next page, page 18, discussing alcoholism specifically, "An illness of this sort, and we have come to believe it an illness, involves those about us in a way no other human sickness can." Further on down the page, "But the ex-problem drinker who has found this solution, who is properly armed with facts about himself, can generally win the entire confidence of another alcoholic in a few hours. Until such an understanding is reached, little or nothing can be accomplished." Further into the next page, 19, "We feel that elimination of our drinking is but a beginning." I read that, and I've actually quoted it in other videos, because it's the flavor of kind of what I'm trying to get to today. I was a drunk, and I firmly believed, as I've said before, that for me personally, alcohol led to everything, and everything led me right back to alcohol. And that's facts. That's just facts. I mean, the things I did, the things I put into my body, the things I allowed myself to do with other people, it almost nauseates me to think about it today, because it's not the person I am. It's not the person I ever want to be again. But it certainly is the person that I was. No one, and I mean that, no one can understand that the way another person just like me can. Another person who has experienced those things. One of the people I was listening to today spoke about the darkness. My goodness, that was a dark thing that I did. That was a dark place that I went to. I can't believe that I could have allowed myself to sink to that level of depravity. And therein comes the guilt. Therein comes the lack of self-worth, the questioning of our goodness. We beat ourselves up. We convince ourselves that we're less than, that we couldn't be part of normal society, to be so dark and depraved. No one can comprehend those feelings the way someone else who's been there can. And that's what we're talking about here. Now, let me expand on the thought by saying, me, some unemployed, uneducated, never even graduated high school, homeless on the streets of the city of Windsor, living in the back of a car that was buried in a snowdrift, how could I, with that level of disgust in myself, ever imagine that I could exist in a place and share a table with a doctor, a lawyer, a professional politician, if you will, with these people that are further up the societal scale, if you will, than I am? I couldn't imagine that. I mean, here I am living homeless in the back of a car buried in a snowdrift. I couldn't imagine myself holding conversations, intellectual conversations, articulating my thoughts and ideas at a table with such professional people. Yet in the doors of Alcoholics Anonymous, around those tables, that's exactly where I found myself. And I smile because I understand today that the only difference between me and that doctor, lawyer, professional athlete, politician, the only difference between us was one drink. It's a fact. And that's what we discuss here in this passage. From steerage to the captain's table, that moment after shipwreck, all of that other stuff goes away. You are scrambling for survival. And we're doing it together. And it's such an incredible place to be today. To understand that the only thing that ever limited me was myself. The only thing that ever lorded that depravity over me was myself. When we start to work through the steps and we start to journey through sobriety, and we take step 1, 2, 3, 4, the inventory, 5, 6, 8, 9, admitting to God, to ourselves, admitting to another person, when we start to share our humanity with other people, in my case, some of the darkest and most depraved things that I would have never shared with any human being, I was now at the place where I was willing to share it all. And I shared this with, these people, this person in my life. And all I got was a head shake. Yeah, man, I've been there, done that, and worse. How could anything you have done been worse than what I had done? My gosh, did you hear what I said to you? Yeah, dude, add this, this, and this. Oh my gosh, wow. And the only thing that separated me from the doctor, the lawyer, the professional athlete, these other people, was that one drink. These were people who shared my understanding of my brokenness, how alcohol had led me to all things, and all things led me right back to alcohol. All these behaviors, all these substances, it was just that circle, that hamster wheel that I just couldn't get myself out of. In the doors of Alcoholics Anonymous, in those dusty church basements, in those community centers, I found freedom, and I found it in people just like me, from all walks of life. And there's the humanity of the journey for us. I'm going to wish you guys the happiest of weekends, man, and hope that you have a blast and just kill it, man. Enjoy it. Get out in that sunshine. Get outside, breathe in that fresh air, and just know that there's light on the horizon, man. The selflessness, the giving, the reaching out, and the connecting with other human beings, that's where we're headed. Light will always win, because in these moments where we're consumed by all of the stuff that we can control, we seem to forget that reaching out, reaching across the table, connecting with another person, finding out how we can benefit others, is where the real joy and the real power of humanity really lays itself bare for us to see. It's amazing to think that in the darkest moments of our human history, when we look back, that's where we always rose. That's where we always come together, is in those moments where we can lift each other up and help each other. Nothing else really matters, man. And that's what I'm grateful for today, is the knowledge that I can benefit other people. And that's all I'm trying to do here, man. So, again, I'm going to hit this stop button. It works if we work it, friends. One day at a time. And I'm going to thank you all for tuning in. And I don't know what the heck I'm going to do for 50 videos, but looks like it's just a couple of days away. So, man, it's pretty cool. And I'm grateful again, guys. Thanks a lot. Take care. Have a great weekend. I love you all, and I'm cheering you on, guys. Bye.